afternoon, friends, fans, and fam. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. What's going on? Captions aren't working again, and I'm not sure why. Let's try this again. Hello? Hello. Are the captions working now? Yes, there they are. Hello. Fantabulous. For those of you that want captions, they are live on Twitch right now. I'm just getting set up a little bit late to the party today. We're just having a bit of family weekend time. So, you know, just chilling. Just chilling. What have all of you been up to? Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Every window is accounted for. Everything is in order. It's Cowboy. Cowboy up, y'all. Let's get ready to rumble. No storm wall. Laying on a silver horse. Shut. That's right. Kick the crow. Oh, he escapes. All right, all right. Dun, 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 dun. Was that necessary? Why did you end up on the porch? That don't make no sense. Yeah. What up, Brandon? What up, what up, what up? How you doing, mate? Brandon, thank you so much. Wherever you find, dude, you're a legend. Thank you. How's your weekend, Matt? How's your weekend been? What you been up to? Yeah, nice. That's a good weekend, man. It's a good way to spend your time. We're getting chillier down here in New Zealand, so often I find that calls for staying indoors and lounging to be warm. Oh, we found some people. Howdy. What? Ow, what? It's abuse.
We have an applicant there on the ground, standing there looking at you.
I know.
Mm-hmm. We've been waiting for you this whole time.
Why? No one told me y'all were waiting.
I'm kidding.
I can't believe you've been this rude and inconsiderate in not setting the gold standard for a meeting.
Oh my god. You know what?
You're never going to let that go, are you?
I'm gonna clear you to punch him if you want to. I don't. I'm gonna look the other way. It ain't even my jurisdiction. I think it's
I'm not
legal here
standing
if you
between
punch
y'all.
him if there's no
Honestly,
sheriff.
I like my knuckles the way they are right now.
Yeah, but the
He's
problem
got a few
is
left in him.
nobody likes his face the way it is except Posey. So someone's
Considering how much pain
knuckles.
he's already in, I feel like he might just be doing that on his own. Penance might already be paid.
That makes it. What'd you do now, genius? Is this still from the other day, getting into that 2-on-3?
Yes.
Oh
I mean, still, I got shot. You
How
should know
many
what that
my-
feels like.
Are you trying to catch up to me? Is that what your goal is now?
I'm not even. I don't think I'm even an eighth.
Your
Up to you.
weekly numbers, though, are definitely
What are
catching
your
up.
weekly numbers?
Weekly number, like your average per week is higher than mine at the moment.
I didn't get shot at all last week. All the week before.
And now, how many times you been shot?
The last time I got shot was Mesa.
Yeah, that was.
You only count one one shot for each interaction, or
Oh no,
just how many times you get shot?
I only got shot once.
There is
with
no
miss.
P smash to scroll TikTok. Hey,
No, I
Turtle,
count how many
what's
bullets.
up?
I count how many bullets go in. Technically, I
Ugh.
suppose the other day was 2 of the counting bullets that touched my skin. Otherwise, grazed me,
It
I
counts.
suppose. That counts.
Yeah, it counts.
Does it count for you?
Yeah.
Does it only count for half if it goes in one side and out the other?
Wouldn't that be double? Would that be half?
Good
If
question.
it only goes in and not out, is it half?
How many holes does a
Or
cylinder
is it double?
have?
Ugh.
1 or 2?
Trick question.
That's a question. One big hole. And hey, all I can say is people got shot.
That does tend to happen on this job. You sure you're still interested?
Fortunately for you, I think, yes, for now. And with all the wonderful things that Langston's been telling me about you and your escapade, I can only imagine it's going to get better from here.
My escapades specifically, or the escapades of the Marshal Service in general?
Bit of both, let's call it that.
Hmm.
I can't believe you missed the town hall. Do you
Very
just not care
exciting.
about roads?
Whatever stories these two are making up, don't believe it. They pretend to know more than they do.
Would you want me to say? Would you want me to repeat a point I said?
Which one?
I think you should.
The point I said was that you're more of a dick to to criminals without warrants than people who do.
And I said, almost like he's goading them.
No.
He said yes.
Why wait for the warrant?
Well, wait for the warrant when you can be the warrant.
That's just efficiency, isn't it?
Okay, mister, you wanted to walk into a room full of them playing poker and make a bloodbath?
I said, let me get the shotgun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes you did.
I didn't say necessarily we had to shoot them. Sometimes pulling the gun is all you need.
How'd that work out for you last time?
I mean, you know what? I hope Sweet's dead. That's how I hope it is.
What are the chances of that?
Very low. Langston's not that
Luck-wise, it
lucky.
won't. Yeah, I'm not that lucky.
Frick
I
him.
mean, he got shot.
You
Bill
have to
got
log
shot.
in to do that, Bash. Come on now. Where are you? Are you waiting till we log out again?
Unfortunate, to say the least.
Bryce the horse got shot, at least. I don't know
Oh.
about Bryce.
Just the horse.
Well, I don't know if Bryce actually got... I mean, Bryce shot Posey, so I don't know
Mhm.
how old that is. I'm also not... There's also... Now, I think Posey said that she shot Bill. There's also half a chance that me running my horse into him might have done something. to
Oh,
speed that along.
you just charged the man with your horse?
He was on the ground, and I just kind of... It's like, So
What's
I
he
did,
doing
yes.
on the ground?
Well, we chased them on horseback. Then Jesse was very irritable.
Hey, Callie.
Actually. He cut me off in the middle of my "I'm gonna shoot you" thread. I started to say, "Let me be clear," and he said, "No, let me be clear." He stopped the horse, got off the horse, pulled the gun, which made me pull my gun. Then he walked within like 3 feet of the horse, and we're just pointing guns at each other. And then he said, something like, "It's gonna be a shame," or "It's gonna be a shame when they bury you and Posey together," or something along those lines. And then I said something like that, "Before or after Bryce buries you." I shot him. he goes down. I go over to Bill. I give him a bit of a love tap with the horse. Then Bryce and I get into a horseback back and forth. She shoots the shit out of Brimstone. How that horse didn't go down is beyond me. But I wouldn't really know what happened to Brimstone because at some point she sends a shot through my left side, and then I face meet New Austin gravel.
Ouch. Yeah, that'll hurt.
Yeah, for about 10, 15 feet.
Brandon,
And then
playtrp.com
I get up
/
and
apply.
Posies. Well, I had to tell
Check
Posey
out
to
the
leave
server.
the horse, which she didn't like doing. But you know,
And now they're hiding in Thieves Land and licking their wounds.
hey, maybe we will get lucky. Maybe we should send Posey in to do cauterization. They'll finish the job for us.
Why does that feel like a reference to something?
She has a mock fascination with cauterization.
I don't know
Very
if I'd
specific.
call it
Posey, that is.
mock or unfortunate fascination.
I'd call it. It kind of is unfortunate.
Correct.
I
What have
mean,
you
it's
been creating, my
probably-
friend?
The medical experience and knowledge you get when you live around nothing but army for the first 10 years of your life.
Hmm.
Some GTA.
And not even the medics, just the
Interesting.
soldiers.
The standard of care is somewhat lacking. So how'd the town hall go in other topics?
Fantastic.
Was mostly dominated by two very belligerent people who were not very happy about the state of their town.
Yeah, I can't believe they managed to turn everyone in Rhodes on the side of the orphan. Nothing.
Not this time.
I've had
Yeah,
mine.
You'll get them next time.
That's
For sure.
rough.
Yeah, they were complaining about not being able to go to their bridge game.
Where's their
You
bridge?
met rich people before.
Why
Sorry, you
can't-
are the rich people.
No, well, yeah, I guess I am now. I didn't used to be.
I believe that woman was also removed from her bridge game towards the end. Both of them
Yeah.
left. Were looking at someone up on the hill across the road, and the sheriff went over to inquire as to who they were. Apparently accused him of murder.
Said he looks like
Accused the
he's
sheriff
gonna
of
kill
murder?
someone. No.
No.
There's a fellow that's standing by the, you know, I don't know what building it is. It's by the mansion. It's that, like,
The-
secondary house.
Is it?
Seven house, might be.
The one with the poodles.
Oh,
that one.
okay. I
Yeah,
get
just accused him.
you. Huh.
But,
Poor
don't
guy.
eat tomato bisque for, like, a week or two, I believe.
Yeah, I had a telegram about that a couple of days ago.
Me too. Road sheriff has a warrant for the suspect, is looking for him, described him, and then said, if you see someone, let us know. To
So now
paraphrase. I'm
there's
paraphrasing, right?
a witch hunt going on throughout the town because everyone's seeing something, I take it.
I haven't heard anyone give any actual,
Not
I've
really.
seen this person. To be honest, it's not a vague description. It's fairly direct. And also, considering who was there? It was everyone here but you, Tyrell. It was Rhodes Sheriff's Office, and then it was Alex, the two rich pricks, and then was there someone else? Oh yeah, Maddie and Ben. None
gonna
of
say
which I
the-
think are really
the two
going
ends.
to go off and start witch hunts. Maybe the rich pricks actually.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But that'd be your problem.
No, it sounds like a Beckett problem.
Oh, also, Standard was asking about the orphan and federal thing, and then I just said, I think I said about road stuff, and I didn't want to say about federal stuff because it's yours. But I don't know if you care that much about that, to be honest.
Okay.
Who's that?
I don't know. Go find out.
If it's Emma St. James, I don't want to.
Is that Emma?
I mean, it's like Emma with long hair.
Doesn't Emma? Ain't you two got a date to go on or something?
Oh, I asked her once if she's dead, and she's not.
Yeah, Alex said she's not too.
Ah, damn it.
Go on.
I'm on.
Are you on Are you on
Unfortunately,
medical?
I think. Of course I am. I came down here for the town hall. If someone isn't coming over here and pulling their gun very slowly, I'm not doing anything. Hey, Delphine, you said that you should get posse experience. This could be great posse experience.
Wonderful. Always looking for an experience.
Watch the knives.
Oh,
If it is Emma.
I'll go find out.
is Emma someone with...
Don't do it. Do it. I'm getting conflicting. Emma wants to kill Ty. Howdy.
Tyrell.
Ah. How are we?
Fine, you?
Doing just dandy. Thought you might be someone else for a second.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
Actually, no, it's not that much of a disappointment. That person that I thought you might be was probably gonna stab someone today. So you know what?
The day's still young for me, so you never know.
Oh yeah? Where have you been at?
Here and there. What about you?
Pretty much the same. Mostly here in Lemoyne, you know, work and all.
Well, I'm glad you're keeping yourself busy.
So which names you going by at the moment? Is it Bauer? Frankie?
Bauer is my last name, yeah. Frankie. It's my nickname. You can call me Carter if you want.
Well, just wondered what
But
you
that
prefer,
usually-
because, you know.
Well, I mean, that usually makes me a little angry because it reminds me of my father, and then, well,
Fair enough.
Which one reminds you of your father? I'm sorry. So I know not to call you that.
Carter.
All right, understood.
For
What do you
Frankie in
prefer to be
general,
called?
then.
Frankie's just fine, JY.
All right.
Alright. Well, you're looking much better than last time I saw you, so good to see you again.
Oh, well, I'm glad you remember that. It was nice for you to fix up my shoulder before you threw me in that cell.
Yeah, I got a little busy that day, and your shoulder weren't too busted up. It's not like you'd been
Oh.
shot.
I mean, you know, but all that time of it being separated and all, I mean, any doctor would tell you that you start losing muscle function after a while.
You lose much?
I'm not going to give you the pleasure of knowing that.
It's fair. Well, you're back on your feet and seem to be in good health, so, you know what? I think it's better that, you know, well, let's just say it could have been much worse, right?
I guess it
Everyone could have got a
been.
lot more hurt that day than they did.
I mean, hell, I mean, I could be as bad as my people are right now.
They licking their wounds again?
You know that.
I only heard rumors. I ain't seen any of them for a while. At least a few days.
I thought the other night you was paying a visit to him. You know, y'all riding through like that.
Oh, we just came to chat to Bill, but he didn't seem to want to come out and talk.
I mean, you really didn't give him much chance to get up from his seat, but okay.
Oh, well, he knows where to find me. He knows we always got a date. I was just doing to him what he does to me. Ride through and tell me about it later and pretend I came to see him.
Oh. He'll love to know that.
It's his usual. Just return
I'm sure
a
it is.
favor. I would tell him myself, but I don't have his new telegram, so.
Oh, that's such a shame.
Yeah, he keeps promising the telegram and he never writes. It's just rude.
You know what? I'm sorry. And you know what? The coyotes they are not a rude bunch. I'll make sure I raise a fuss the next time I see them.
I think that would be appreciated if you could bring that back to the group.
Sure, I'll do that.
Thank you kindly. You have yourself a good day, Frank.
You do the same.
Tell Bill I look forward to his cooperation next time.
Mm-hmm.
Take care, Miss Frankie.
Good night.
That was less fun. That was just Carter Frankie Bauer.
Isn't it the one? Is that the one you threw off the train?
Mm-hmm.
She jumped. Thank you
Yeah,
very
she
much.
jumped.
I didn't throw anybody off the train.
Kind of defensive, aren't you?
I'm just mad because I wish I'd thrown them off the train.
Next time, throw Jesse off the train, but like in
I-
the gap in between the train cars.
I'm gonna be honest, I did kind of try to get to Jesse to push him off the train, but he jumped just before I got there.
Stole your fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Devastating.
But Frankie there, she didn't jump so well, so she got kind of hurt. She's grumpy I didn't put her shoulder back in place, but I was a little busy because her friends kept riding up on the sheriff's office. But she's alive. She got not too much to complain about. She says all her friends are hurt, though.
I was going to say, I can only imagine that they can't really complain much. If they didn't want to get thrown off a train, they probably shouldn't be rubbing it.
Did you send her my best?
I did ask her to tell Bill that I was upset that he still hasn't telegrammed. Speaking of, apparently I have one ready to read. I will be right back. Frankie! I love Rebel. I love it. One of those things I really enjoy about Rebels RP is the backstories. Some of the freaking conversations we've had where they're talking about things from the past. And I know, like, what they're talking about is sometimes stuff that has been RP'd out in alternate servers or different ways, but some of it is just story. think that might be SDM Valentine over there. I will be right
Yes.
back.
All right.
And just that, the way they make it feel so alive when they're telling their stories. It's great. Hey,
Hey,
good choice of coat. Looks good on us. Hey there, the potential new recruits just over there, Delphine.
I see you.
Come chat, or you want to go somewhere and talk about something first?
We need to go to SDPD to discuss something. So
Gotta be at SDPD, can't just talk up there at the church.
if you want to stay in Rhodes, then
Oh,
sure.
we can go. We can go. I just wasn't sure what we're talking. How confidential we gotta be.
We're just gonna talk about hiring.
Alright. I'll go grab my horse and go down to SDPD. I'll tell her we'll telegram if we finish talking about her.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, yeah, that is definitely a thing. Most Red Dead servers you will find are like that, for RP especially. That
Charge
is
with said pony.
indeed the boss, but we need to go to SDPD and deal with something. But Delphine, I will telegram you soon if you're going to be around. Might have some time for both of us to get to ride along with you for a little bit if you've got time.
Absolutely.
I
Just let
think
me
we'll
know.
be long, maybe 10 minutes, something like that.
Take your time.
Am I welcome,
Can
or
I
should
come?
I just? Yeah. Can we come? Can we come? Ty.
For the second part, not the first part though. I don't know what the boss wants to talk
Mm.
about.
All right.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good
See you
luck.
soon.
Can I get your hat when you die?
I had to see if that was a player. I said we'd reach out once we're done chatting.
Mm-hmm.
You make the town hall or no?
I did not.
No, me neither. Have to catch up with Beckett at some point.
Mhm.
So the only trouble I have with running into rebel characters is knowing which one I'm talking to. Because it's not always obvious, and I'm so bad at fashion cues. Like always having to wait for some conversation.
You done a ride along with Delphine?
Not yet. We haven't. Looking like, well, I was gonna do one maybe on Monday. So in 2 days. But if we've got time after we're done talking, we could always see what she's up to. I got about another 90 minutes or so, at least see what's around.
Alright.
Otherwise, yeah, Monday.
Well, I'm already set on hiring her.
Alright, sounds good.
It's not like there's a lot of competition that she has.
No, you didn't want to hire Kyle Hote?
I do not want to hire Jesse Sweet or
Or Mr.
whoever the other Butcher's Creek man was.
Yeah, Mr. Huey or Ratfink, I think they said his name was.
Ratfink, yes, that was the
Huey.
name. But no,
Yeah,
we're gonna be hiring Delphine.
Alright. Alright then.
That is why we are talking and heading to SDPD.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping that you had already done a ride along with it, but that's alright.
It would have been
we can
nice to have
do-
the opportunity, but no, it had not presented itself yet.
That's alright. She's here now. We will head back to Rhodes and we'll do a ride along.
Alright.
And then we can do both of us, and that'll work out well. But seeing as you not done anything with hiring, as I've been informed by Dumont, I'm gonna have you go through and do all of the paperwork for her hiring.
Okay. What up? Yeah, I've been waiting to find time to catch up with Dumont on figuring out how all that works and
Basically,
get trained on training, essentially, I guess.
so basically, once we have hired Delphine there, Dumont will accompany us on the ride-alongs, and he will essentially teach you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is Winona Valentine. No, you didn't, did you? Cause you quit. You quitter.
Alrighty. So first off, you're gonna handle this paperwork for just the initial setup of getting her hired.
No, it's fair, dude. A bye bash. Shoot you soon. But I owe you some. On behalf of my colleagues who you shot down. Okay, bye. Nuh-uh. Just gotta create some paperwork. If I could remember how to spell. There we go. Alrighty, got some paperwork going. And alright, I'll get this filed and get copies distributed out as need be. Anything else at this point?
No, that is all. With that done, we can go and get this right up.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to lock doors.
I just realized I wasn't completely sure if we came through the same door, so I better go back and check.
Very fair. Alright, well,
Let me take a peek at the bounty board here, see if anyone's got any tips on anything interesting we could go look for.
look.
Not a fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to know our criminals are tucked up in bed where they belong.
We can also go see if there's anything in the roads.
Yeah. Just don't eat the tomato bisque is what I hear.
What?
Apparently it's all poisoned in rows. Someone's been putting oleander, sage, and wisteria in the tomato soup.
And did this have to do with the town hall, though?
Yeah. This is what Langston was saying. Well, actually, Beckett told me a couple of days ago, but
Interesting.
I'm sure if it's at the parlor house, it's safe. Just don't take food from strangers, I guess. Something about the orphan.
Interesting.
By the way, looks like somebody tossed a body over the railing up at the bridge furthest north across the river toward toward Blue Water Marsh. The northernmost Lemoyne Bridge, I guess you'd call it.
Mm-hmm.
Been looking up and downstream for the body, because without the body it's hard to have a case, but unfortunately Langston saw the body. He just didn't fish it out the water, and by the time I got there, the gators had kept eating it. I didn't find no body, just a sign that someone had been tossed over the edge.
Langston didn't make any note of it at all.
We can ask him when we get back, but
Because otherwise, I'm just curious why Langston decided to thaw a body and didn't do anything about it.
that's a good question. Well, he told me. I guess that's what he thinks he did about it. But yeah, in gator-infested water, it would have been better if he'd fished it out and dealt with it then and there. Otherwise, it's just a goddamn snack.
And if it was too hard to fish out, I would have always appreciated him making a note of it.
Yeah, I went looking, but I didn't realize it'd be that far. I didn't realize how far downstream it would be, so I never got far enough. And then he told me a couple of days later. By then it was long gone. Wonder if I'll stay.
Alrighty, go and get her. I'm gonna go check the bounty board.
Alright. Isn't there a curfew in this town? Are you supposed to be loitering all suspicious like?
Only
Only by yourself.
I was going to say,
Oh,
I believe it's only if you're on your own.
I see. Okay. Well,
I
Miss
remember what it
Delphine,
was. It was somebody who was trying to see. Somebody had a gun pulled on them, and actually, I think this was with you. You were the one who got attacked, Langston. Oh no, it was somebody else. They a marshal was trying to arrest somebody, and that person started firing wildly and hit the marshal. This was in Blackwater. And they were thinking about charging them attempted murder. But if you read the definition of attempted murder, it's attempts to commit murder in the first degree, which means you had to have planned it out. That was that situation.
Makes sense.
Anyhow.
well,
Hi, Miss Valentine.
defining planning can be subjective, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Shall I go get my horse?
Yep, that would be great
Indeed.
if you've got the time.
Just a moment.
What are you doing? Are you coming to? Aren't you meant to be in bed somewhere? Licking your wounds?
and missed this, not for the world.
I don't even know what
I
this...
shouldn't have my horse here.
Well, there's no bounties at the Bounty Bullocks.
Well, we won't do them, boss.
Well, I'm thinking that, given the time, this will just be a nice, lovely chit-chat right along, and then hopefully we can plan something more eventful another time.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright, lead on.
Alright.
I might just drop by the parlour house and grab something to eat quickly. Don't get caught up later.
Don't eat the bisque, apparently.
So I heard.
I got extra local deputies on tonight by the looks of it.
Oh, good, more people too. Strange
Wait a
twist of
moment.
fate if those deputies end up being the ones to catch the orphan.
That would be awkward, wouldn't it? For Beckett, at least, given everything you've said about what went down at the town hall. So you two have been standing around talking to Delphine for a while. Any thoughts on her?
She's asking good questions.
Okay.
And she seems very interested and very intelligent.
Oh, that's a good thing.
I think she's worth a serious look. And I just realized she might have heard you.
I wasn't yelling, was you?
No. Not quite.
Mm-hmm. You ever feel
Well,
like
yeah, I
you're
think-
riding next to a
derogatory.
child, Langston?
God fucking damn it.
Look at her down there.
I am not.
You are on a turkey.
The height difference is quite comical, though.
Right?
I think it's even funnier that Langston is like quite a head taller and tight.
He
Which makes
is.
it even-
He's stupid tall.
What you don't realize is this gives me certain advantages. Makes me
Like
harder to
hiding
hit.
in small
I
spaces.
can hide in small spaces.
Okay.
I can fit in spaces you could never think about fitting into.
It does.
Stunning.
It does. It does mean, however, that in duels you are very underprepared because you only have to bring. I would only have to bring my hand up like a quarter of the way I would for anyone else, whereas you have to bring it up like above your head.
True, but
Yeah, but
standing
I can
next to you
climb.
at that level on a horseback, she could poke you right in the gunshots.
Well, I can do that with Tyrell. I just need to
Wow.
cover my eyes and just poke it random.
Okay. Okay.
Plus, I can hide behind you. Oh, another
Behind-
advantage is actually saved my life. Somebody tried to take me down in Sisika. Who was this? What's his name?
Oh.
The crazy man.
Green lip man.
Yes, Hendrik.
Hendrik. Yeah.
He got his arm around my neck, and the marshals who were guarding me, one of them literally shot him over the top of my head.
Yeah, you don't.
Working as intended.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
exactly seem like the right height for a human shield.
No, she was a hell of a shot. I was very, very, very grateful to her.
Is that Remy?
Yeah. Darn.
Bundy. But yeah.
So, Delphine.
When you talk about Ember's
How
characters in
familiar are
front
you
of
with
Ember's.
Lemoyne?
I've spent the sort of last month or so that I've been around scouring the states, sort of just trying to learn most major pathways and roads and whatnot. I'd like to think I'm quite familiar by now. I'm sure there's places out there full of hidey holes and things that I will have yet to pick up, but I'd like to consider myself pretty experienced with it.
Fantastic.
I heard you're quite new around here. Where did you transfer in from?
Tennessee.
Is it a similar sort of area?
Don't worry, Tyrell. You're the only 10 I see.
Not quite.
Thanks, Langston. That's so kind of you.
10 gunshots off 100. That is.
The city
There we
is
go.
Somewhat what I'm used to, but this area is honestly more similar to where I grew up than
Oh,
to where
that's
I
so
was.
funny. I was wanting to make
I
that
see.
joke, but I couldn't think of a suitable way to
So
make
you
it.
did not grow up in Tennessee.
I did not. No. I grew up traveling a lot, but mostly I lived in Mississippi. So before this, you had a different career before pursuing the marshals, correct?
I did, yes. 15 years in the Royal Household Cavalry. The Blues, they were called.
Let's see.
Though, that being said, it was military, but it was also a lot of parading, a lot of diplomatic bureaucracy. That being said, if we ever need to ride in formation, I'm very good at it.
Very good.
Well, that makes one. Just be careful if you end up riding with Juno or Posey.
That feels like a slightly veiled threat.
It kinda is, I guess, if you end up riding with them. They don't so much do formation, you're just lucky if they don't cause an accident.
Good to know. I will say the horse breeds are very different.
That they are. But what did you have in the real category?
I had an Irish draft. His name was
Right.
Clancy. He was very sweet. I did have to leave him behind, unfortunately. They got him in when he was about 12, I think. It's very well established by then, but he turned into a wonderful drill horse. He's very good at his job.
And what horse are you using now?
The one I'm riding at the moment, her name is Hollande. She's a warm blood, only because she's far more familiar to what I'm used to. But I did end up buying a foxtrotter the other day, actually, just after I saw Tyrell, which is an interesting breed. I think I mentioned when we met each other in Valentine the other day. I'm not quite used to gated breeds, but it's been a very interesting experience so far. They are exceptionally smooth rides. I had been told previously what they were like to ride and train, but I didn't quite believe it until I saw it.
Foxtrotters are good. I had a foxtrotter when I was in Tennessee. So you'd say that you're pretty good with your riding?
I'd like to think so, yes. Sort
Would you
of been my
say-
bread and butter for about 25 years, so
So you'd say it's your strong suit then?
yes, very much so.
Have you ever had to chase down anyone? On horseback?
Probably not in the way that I'm going to have to here, no.
Did you
In terms
ever...
of... done a lot of team chasing, though, and
Yes.
fox hunting.
I was gonna say, did you ever drill or anything with a full gallop?
Absolutely.
Who's that?
All right, so you go right, I go left.
Howdy.
It's coyote number 8, I think it was.
Who?
It's Ren.
Oh, was it? I couldn't get good looks through your big head.
He's got a
I'd say my most familiar rifle is probably the bolt action, followed by something like a... probably a Springfield, but I'm trying to become more familiar with lever actions at the moment. Hence the Litchfield.
I mean, it looked like Ren. But a shitty little hat.
I think it might be. I think he owes me a fine.
Everything alright?
I think that's Samuel Wren, and he owes me a fine. I'll catch up.
Alright, when he shoots you and he goes through you and hits me, all I say is,
We have a rook.
That isn't Ren.
You lied to me. That's not Ren, that's Rook. Can't believe you called
shouldn't-
Rook's hat shitty.
I didn't recognize him until I
Okay.
got closer, because he's not on that cheap looking horse. He normally wears
Ooh.
for rides. Oh, he knows. I tease him about it.
Never mind, we found Deputy Marshal Rook, or at least someone found him.
Ah. Well, pleasure to meet you, Deputy.
Hi, Rook. This is Special Deputy Marshal Winona Valentine. And a new Marshal Potential, Delphine Stannard.
Hello?
Oh, good. Right on there?
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah, boss.
Do you have any questions to ask, Delphine?
Strangest thing you've seen so far since coming to America.
Now that is a loaded question. I once saw a man on the end of a street in Saint Denis offer a rat a cigarette.
Oh. Okay then.
I think he was serious too.
I was gonna say, did the rat accept and start smoking and just wander off?
You know, I would have. If that had have happened, I think I would have believed that I was seeing some sort of prophecy or something like that. But no, yeah, I don't think it did. I think it bit him and ran away.
That seems fair, honestly.
There was someone who kept a pet rat on the train when I was heading out to Mississippi when I was a child.
Can't imagine smoking would be good for the rat
sir?
either.
Come on now. No, probably not. Can't be much worse than what else is in the air in Saint Denis some days.
True.
You been in a gunfight, Delphine?
One or two.
Okay.
Much less common over the pond. A lot more bludgeoning with nightsticks and the like.
Right. Just beat him into submission instead of having to put a bullet in him.
Well, I mean, I suppose it just depends on how close you're getting, but there definitely are firearms, just a lot less access to them, I suppose. That doesn't mean people don't know how, and it does not stop them, because it does not. At all. They're a little, well, I suppose in my experience, obviously I was sheltered for a lot of my career in a castle, but the times that we were out on proper patrol and whatnot, being used in situations like protest and whatnot to sort of keep the peace. When situations like that get violent, it usually turns poorly very quickly, because over 100 people, or a couple of 100 people, it just, someone throws something and all of a sudden all hell breaks loose. And all of a sudden it's not so much about who's getting shot or what's happening, it's more so about controlling a crowd and making sure people don't get stampeded to death.
I see, that makes a lot of sense.
And having an exceptionally well-trained horse during that scenario is almost a matter of life and death.
Indeed, it would be.
That being said, I have not been in my dress blues for nigh on 5 years now.
And what did you do in those 5 years?
at soul searching. I worked alongside my mother's. It's not really a company, I would say, but I worked alongside my mother for the last 5 years that she was alive. Spent a lot of time out in smaller towns, doing a lot of charity work and practically anything under the sun, really. People needed help, gave it to them. Food, shelter, clothing.
I see. Right here, what we're going into is a very interesting part of the swamp here. I'm certain we will have to come back around the way we came once we get to the end, but it's a place I wanted to show.
Is it a known hideout of sorts?
Exactly. The kind of little hidey holes that you can find around the mine.
Hmm.
Just keep an ear out for panthers in these swamps sometimes.
It certainly looks like a place someone would hide.
Exactly. It is, this little tucked away
Are those
camp.
turtles trying to cook themselves?
I would be mortified of alligators out here.
Yes.
So I think you might be right. One is very close to the fire. Do you have any known groups that like to frequent this area?
I've heard about it.
Not at the moment that I know of.
Once had about a 10-minute gunfight here with Richard Garland.
Oh, good to know.
And, who might that be?
Oh, you haven't met Richard yet, huh?
Well, he
I
does
have
things
not.
exactly like this. He will find this horse. He'll get on it and say, "Look, a free horse," and then gallop away.
Huh. Good to know.
I think I might have just lost my horse. Just taking a look around, seeing if we see anything. Interesting. I've never noticed that before. This must be a Red Dead Online thing. Well,
What about you, Valentine?
Hmm?
What was your previous favourite place you worked? You said you moved around a lot.
Hmm.
Perhaps a least favourite.
Least favorite?
where'd Langston go?
He's right there.
Oh, back in the swamp there.
I think they're riding off.
Aren't you staying here?
No,
I'll
I'm
look
coming
into
with.
it.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
That was to you.
No, for a
No, it
majority
wasn't.
of my
I would never
life,
thank you.
cattle rancher.
You're a bane upon my wife.
Interesting.
That's what I did throughout most of my childhood to my teenage years and a bit into my young adult life.
Hard and honest work.
And then eventually, one day, there was an outlaw gang that was becoming quite a problem on the route that we had gone to and from Texas to Kansas City. They were rustling cattle, and at one point, a marshal was staying with our group, try and get an idea of where they were coming to and from to ambush, and I ended up having to be deputized in the moment to help out, and that marshal believed that I had a ability for this kind of work that would be better off used than cattle ranching.
All right, take care.
And at that point,
Bye, Rook.
I went through about the similar process that you're going through right now. Except that was 8 years ago.
Seems like there's all sorts of walks of life in the US Marshal Service.
That there is.
Sure are.
A lot of people go to and from this line of work. If anything, there's not a lot of people who end up staying and growing old in it. To be quite honest, you either end up getting tired of this job or you end up dead.
Really selling this.
There's very few who end up with the grey in their hair. The ones who do end up with the grey in their hair, well, that's because they've had a
They
lot
got grey in
better
their hair.
line of thought than a lot of other marshals. Or they've shot a lot better criminals they were facing. But more often than not, it's because they just went about it in a lot better way than the other marshal.
The grey in my hair started quite early, but in my defense, I also had quite a, I suppose a lot of people would call it quite a cushy military role. So,
Some say that the grey came in for me a lot sooner as well. And I say that you work in this job for 8 years and you'll also be grey.
Well, I can only look forward to expediting the process.
So maybe.
Can you track and read any kind of sign, Delphine?
I cannot. When you say read any sign, do you mean sign language?
Like signs of people passing, tracking people, and all that kind of
Oh.
stuff.
Yes, I'd like to think so. At least
Oddly
basic
enough,
tracking things.
I've been tracking y'all this whole damn time. That's why I'm zigzagging. It's giving me a chance
You
to
can
practice.
see us. You ain't tracking us.
Well, no, I'm watching the hoof marks.
I thought you were just zigzagging because you got extra energy like an excitable toddler.
No, Miss Delphine has not Delphine. Miss Valentine has retraced her steps more than once. She's literally this exact same hoof prints that she left earlier.
I think my specialty in this line is going to be identifying horses. just a guess.
Maybe you can teach Langston.
About 9 times out of 10, I will sooner correctly identify a horse someone was riding than what they look like, which is probably a weakness that I'll need to work on, but I will always be quite confident in my ability to pick the horse.
How familiar with the city do you feel?
As far as main streets and buildings go, quite well. But when it comes to back alleys and finding the little hidden ways that wind around the city, quite weak on that front. I think it's probably worth spending some time on foot city, making my way through, finding where all the dead ends are and all the open ends.
Indeed.
As well as, much to my chagrin, the rooftops most likely. Is there anything I should know about in the city of importance? Places of interest or...
Well, if there is, I feel that Tyrone will be better to answer that than I will.
Fair.
Gosh, well, we got a lot of people here doing a lot of troublemaking, but the
Where
park
should I stay away
here,
from?
the park back there, is a hot spot for people finding themselves missing items because they get pickpocketed.
Oh,
The
yes.
Apartments just down the road there from the bank. Also another hot spot for people breaking and entering. Committing robberies. Bastille Hotel's been awful quiet of late. It hasn't had any bad outfits running that for a while, but it used to be the kind of place where I wouldn't spend the night on account of not knowing whether you were sleeping in a dead man's bed or not.
Not exactly the nicest discovery.
No. The west side of town. A little more posh than the east side of town. The northeast is affectionately by some called the drop-off. Anything beyond Doyle's bar and out the back of Doyle's bar can be somewhat of a likely place to find someone that's met the wrong end of a argument. A couple of
Doyle's, that's the bar on the back street towards the
Yeah.
marketplace.
That's the one.
Right.
Marketplace has a pawn shop in it as well. It looked like a legitimate business on the outside, but you spend too long nosing around their goods and you're gonna find some that they didn't really have a right to sell and buy.
I see.
As
And-
a Lemoyne Marshal, this street right here will be the most traveled across.
Yeah. Between the
Did you say
stable
that?
and the SDPD.
We have an unlucky bill, just so you know.
Oh, we do?
Mm-hmm.
Any idea
No
where?
location. Nope.
Oh,
He's
sitting there
probably
I
just
laid down money
thieves.
and thieves. Yeah.
licking his wounds and thieves still.
He's one of the ones that Langston mentioned was shot, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
He
that's
has a
quite alright.
decent bounty and a couple of federal warrants, or just the one at the moment?
I know he's got
Right.
at least one.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind, I might take this opportunity to just swap out my horse and get started on my other one.
Sure.
Probably worth taking on training this foxtrot up.
We'll probably go through the city and then make our way back to SDPD, and then that's where I'll call it.
Sure.
Just-
Alright, now this is a robbery.
What are you stealing? My sanity?
He cannot steal what he's already taken, Tara.
Now, pay for the fucking storage boxes in the SCPD, you cheapskate.
What are you talking about?
Organize them correctly.
Right.
Posey said that you said that it quote cost too much money.
What
They're
are you
expensive as
talking
hell.
about?
But Tyrell Sackett, coal conglomerate. I think Jameson is actually Tyrell Sackett.
Oh, are you talking about me not taking the storage boxes and getting them labeled?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, when I went to look at doing that, they were going to be $30 for the label and $30 to inscribe what was the description of the label on it.
Oh no, you'll be destitute.
Didn't you just mention, like, 20 minutes ago that you were rich?
No.
One of them now.
He mentioned I was rich. I just said he's probably right.
I feel like I specifically recall you agreeing with that. Also, you saying he's
Yeah,
probably
he
right
said it,
is
but
some
I
sort of agreement.
agreed with it. But specifically,
How
he
rich is
said
rich? Do you own property?
I do.
Oh, you're rich then.
He owns a farm.
Oh, even more so then.
You have a whole homestead up in the hills. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it doesn't generate. It doesn't have a wheat field.
Yeah, that gets
Sell
robbed
crops.
more than I get to
As soon as
sell
you have-
from it.
Crops or livestock, that's pushing you out there.
Yeah.
So, Tara,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I would like for you to go and do at some point?
What's that?
Get those storage boxes inscribed and whatnot.
Of course.
It doesn't have to be done right away, and you don't have to do them all at once, and just, you know, over time. I'll also do
Mhm.
some if I can, but I am currently not rich.
Send a bill to Dumont.
I do believe that if I do that, that bill will stay there forever, and Dawson will eventually find it and go, oh, well, that's a shame.
So you've met Dawson then.
I have not met Dawson, but if I know directors, that's what he'll say.
Who's
Mm-hmm.
Dawson?
Dawson is the director of the Marshal Service here.
I see.
Handles the financials and whatnot.
Leader of the paperwork.
Mm-hmm. He gave me a choice. Take a desk job or pay my own medical bills.
No. The context of how many times you've been shot, that actually doesn't shock me.
Right
Mhm.
here is the docks. You'll get very familiar with this place if you end up in our ranks.
That is the usual place we'll bring prisoners before taking them across the Sissica, which you can see in the distance over there.
Hmm. It was, Langston and Ms. Young were telling me about getting used to boats and grounding them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, being quite skilled with a boat will be a useful skill.
Suppose there's only one way to find out.
Yeah,
Indeed.
being stranded in the prison island wouldn't necessarily be a fun way to spend the time it took to get you rescued. But it wouldn't be
Can't
the first
imagine that.
person it happened to.
Do you have like quite a good working relationship with the penitentiary?
A necessary one. It'd be hard pressed to find too many marshals that like working with them, but it's what we got.
I see. Is there a warden who's in charge or something of the sort?
There-
A name that I should know of?
No, I don't have a name for you of the most recent one. There was a little reshuffle a while ago. There was some issues with the treatment of prisoners, and rather than actually deal with it, they just swap personnel around more often these days.
I see. It's definitely one way to deal with it.
On the plus side, it does seem like at least they aren't abusing people too intentionally these days. Oh, I did say someone say the other day something about the old hot boxes, but I don't think they use them anymore. It's not on the daily.
And what we went through right there is some of the most trafficked streets in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're ever looking for anyone in the city, not someone who might be hiding, but just looking generally, those are the best routes to go through.
Keep that in mind.
Telegrams, gun store, medical office, Doyle's,
Barbershop.
barbershop, Taylor's. Above the gun store, there's a tea house that is occasionally frequented. They got a poker table or something up there that brings in some interesting customers from time to time, but
Gambling always does draw an interesting crowd.
and then just here we got the courthouse and the bank.
If you're ever looking for me and I telegram you telling you that I'm in my office, it's in this courthouse.
Right.
Right there, we also have the bank.
In the courthouse, first corridor down on your
Excuse me
right.
for just 2 moments. Maybe like
Yeah,
5
sure.
minutes or so. Just a moment.
Fantastic plan. If we put standard on the footpath, we can block the road from coyotes.
Perfect. It would, just so long as they don't go around us, it's a great plan. Dun, 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 dun. Have you got a horse somewhere around that we can drop you to, Langston? Or are you just gonna pass out wherever we leave you? Or are you expecting delivery to Roanoke?
Sorry, what was that?
I was saying, do you have a horse somewhere you would like to be delivered to, or are you expecting delivery to Roanoke, or are you just gonna pass out wherever we drop you off?
I'll keep going with it till I can't go anymore. How about that?
I'm losing ground.
I mean, Valentine. When you're going to turn in Valentine, how does that work?
Your horse is in Valentine?
No, it's in Strawberry, but I don't want to run Tyrell out of his way too much.
I'll take you out there. I need to get some sleep anyway.
How'd you get from Strawberry to Rhodes?
Oh, I lost the horse that I took from Willards to Rhodes.
You just lost it?
Hmm.
It wandered off without you? It got sick of you?
Pretty much.
That's fair. I can't imagine why.
This is actually pretty funny. He could literally put his chin on the top of my head.
He'd have to stoop to put his chin on top of your head. Let's be honest.
Now
here.
look, It's not that bad.
It is that bad. It is
Holy hell.
actually that bad.
Yeah, I believe that he would have to slouch slightly.
Mm-hmm. I don't even think it's slight. He would considerably be slouching to put his chin on your
If I
head.
put
Yeah.
if I put this hat on JY's head, it would go. The brim would be at like her collarbone height.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be hilarious. Good protection from the rain for JY.
Be able to see. I wouldn't be able to see.
Nope. No, you would not. It would just like
Oh,
rest on your shoulders, basically.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're gonna take off.
Bye
Have a
now.
lovely evening. It's nice to see you again, Miss Valentine.
My apologies.
Be safe. Don't run into Bill. If you do, don't stop. Well, we're almost at the end of our little tour. I mean, there's more
I've had
to
a
the
wonderful
state,
time so
but
far.
that's the highlights, anyway. You will become good friends with SDPD, most of the officers, and especially the bounty board up here. If you're not already familiar, is a great place to figure out who's who and who's around that's causing mischief.
Langston sort of took me through the who's who of most of the well-known, more prolific criminals in the States, so I have a few names to look out for now, at least.
Okay. Where are you staying at?
At the moment,
Yeah, in general.
usually between the hotels in Sondeny and Rhodes, depending on where I sort of finish for the night. But most likely in the city.
Okay.
I've been staying down at the main hotel for a few weeks now.
Mm-hmm. How have you been making money?
So far, I have not touched many bounties, but I do like to fish every now and again. So,
Okay. I used to hunt,
it,
but I find fishing one of the most boring things in the world.
a bit the same with hunting, to be honest, but do it if I have to.
Yeah, that's fair. They call it fishing, not catching, you know?
But that's half the fun.
What is fun about that? You just sit there.
It's peaceful. Gives you
That's
time
true.
to think.
I do that while just riding around.
That's fair. Although I feel like that could develop into a bad habit of not knowing when to stop working.
You're funny.
Hmm.
What do you mean bad habit? It's just a habit.
For you, I'm certain that.
There's a reason why I do not live in Lemoyne and I do not work in New Hanover. I needed to make sure there was some separation between my home and my work.
That makes a lot of sense. And probably very smart.
What? You don't wanna just step outside your door and already be where you need to be? What could ever go wrong with that for you, Tyrell?
Nope, nope. They find my house often enough as it is. I
was going
don't
to say,
need to wake up and have them actually expect me to work on the crimes committed against my doorstep.
I was about to say, does your ranch suffer from a lot of break-ins? People like to mess with you.
I have had...
Let's be real, Tyrell. If you were working in New Hanover and there was crimes at your doorstep, you would just have to hand it off to another person.
Well, if there were other people, but I have
There were
had
other
all
people
manner.
that-
I've had dogs shot. I've had break-ins. I've had corpses left on my scarecrow instead of a scarecrow.
By the divine.
I've had
That is mortifying.
a lot of incidents of bloody handprints on my door. I'm pretty sure it's all the same person. They tend to leave a bloody handprint and nail a snake to the door or to the wall.
Am I learning that my ASDM is the most hated marshal here?
You,
Might be
well,
in the running for it.
that may have been true, but now Bundy has an ASDM. Goes by the name of Thomas Stewart Langston. I think he'd beat me.
So Langston.
He's more hated than I am, I'm pretty sure.
Slightly concerning that people are badgering that around like a trophy.
So, what was the kind of person who I replaced then? Seeing as the two people that I am, you and Langston were both stationed here beforehand. Langston was also.
Marlowe was not popular among the outlaws because Marlowe was fierce and determined to be good at her job. And also, she used to be a New Austin Marshal. They train them different out in New Austin.
Do they now?
Yeah,
In a positive way or in a negative way?
depends. Depends on your point of view, that does, doesn't it?
I suppose so.
Most of the outlaws would say negative because the New Austin point of view is very much a no bullshit, shoot first and let the bodies get sorted out in heaven as to what they did wrong. SDM Bundy is a strong and determined man when it comes to dealing with things, but gotta remember they got a lot less facility for dealing with things out in New Austin than we do here. A lot more ground to cover, a lot more hostile territory, and
The Western Territories and Marshall and those places have always been more fierce. I know that for a fact.
You need a more fierce kind
But-
of marshal out there, for the most part.
But I like to say that I do a decent job of being diplomatic when needed and being a bitch when needed. But I like to say that I just have southern hospitality.
Fair enough.
Considering my inexperience with both, looking forward to getting to know it a bit better.
Well, let's just say most New Austin diplomacy comes at the end of a barrel, from what I've seen. Maybe Langston out there will shake things up a bit.
So maybe he'll just add a second barrel.
That's more than likely, but
Judging by who you say he was trained by, I don't think there will be much difference.
yeah.
Can't exactly blame him if what he's told me about the people who reside out there is true. I feel as though if I went out there to visit, my hand would also be trained on my holster.
It happens. You'll form your own opinion soon enough of those people that are on our federally wanted list. Especially the repeat offenders that will find themselves on a weekly basis at this point. It's yeah. It's frustrating. But I think
It's all
working
just a matter of time.
yeah. I also think though working here in Lemoyne, other places with bigger cities like West Elizabeth, etc. The job comes with a much more public face than just a badge. You gotta know the people. You gotta be a part of. You can't avoid but be a part of this community here if you want to get anything done, because it's such a rat race that anyone will just disappear into those alleyways we were talking about earlier if you don't know at least a little bit about who's who and what's what. And
I have a feeling that my next week or so is going to be very focused on building relationships with local law and the other
Mhm.
marshals around.
Yeah, it's a big part of it. It's a big part of it out in New Austin as well, but for different reasons. Half the time out in New Austin, local law aren't so much working with you as working with those people you're trying to catch. Had a string of outlaw sheriffs in both Armadillo and Tumbleweed of late.
So I heard about a certain Clint.
Mr. McGraw, yep, Sheriff McGraw was
And
picked
his
up.
$600 bounty
Yeah.
or something.
Just here in the city, in fact. $600 went to some bounty hunter by the name of Lex, I believe. And now he's a sheriff. Because, you know, ain't illegal to have a record and be in charge of a whole town. Hell, the previous fella that was sheriff out in Tumbleweed was previously sentenced to Sisika for life for murder.
Well, that's the problem with town law in the town that don't have much people, is that whoever wants to can pretty much be a lawyer.
Yeah, whoever strolls into town and puts their hand on the badge first gets the job, generally speaking.
I did ask Langston about whether if those $600 bounties could possibly affect Clint's status as a sheriff, but apparently no. Anything that can
Nope.
oust them as their own people.
Yeah, you could be locked up in Sisker and they'd still be the sheriff of Tumbleweed.
Pretty much. Even when there is a situation that involves marshals being involved for corruption, that doesn't stop them from still having the badge after they've gotten out of prison. They're still able to be law in the town. The only thing that us coming in and arresting them for whatever it may be does is let the people know that maybe they shouldn't have them be the sheriff, but that still involves the people doing something about it.
And if you can't find 10 people in town that can sign their own name, it's not exactly easy to start proceedings to vote them out, you know?
Especially in such a small town.
Exactly. Most of the people you could find to put signatures on such a thing in a place like Armadillo would be the kind of people who are not going to give a shit about putting the signatures on it.
Well, I'd like to extend my thank you to both of you for extending the offer here and rather than New Austin.
It's my pleasure. And well, to be fair, I don't think New Austin is looking hot just right now, so. If anyone is looking hot, it is us.
Well, fingers crossed I don't royally screw this up.
I think it'll be alright.
Yeah, we'll let you know how you go, but for now I'm probably gonna turn in. I got some paperwork to wrap up inside, but maybe on Monday, Delphine, I'll reach out and we can see if we can find any more action than just wandering around looking at the scenery.
Sounds like a plan. I will hopefully reach out to you then. If you
Sounds
don't beat
good.
me to the punch.
Alright. Well,
Right.
our Tuesday maybe rather than our Monday, but their Monday. You know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah. Night, boss.
Right. Both
Good
of you
night.
take care and appreciate for the ride along today at least, even if it was just a little casual.
Yeah. Oh, have a look at this face here. This is Bill. Unlucky Bill. You're gonna wanna drag him in if you get the chance. But
Let me have a look.
why is his? He did a terrible print job on this.
So he's a common denominator around here.
You'll find that face on pretty much every bounty board from here to Armadillo, possibly even Tumbleweed, I think.
Well, I will keep that in mind. In the meantime, I'm going to find some sugar cubes, but take care of yourselves, and I will see you later.
Ride safe. I hear Emerald Ranch usually has the best prices, but are often sold out.
I don't know where I'm going then.
Good
Farewell.
luck. Alright. I will see you in a couple of days, probably.
Most likely. I'm gonna go get some rest.
Be safe, boss.
You as well.
Hello.
Quickly check telegrams, and then we're pretty much done for the day, chat. Find a little hidey hole corner to lie down in. Take off guns. And that is us. Just a quick hangout, a couple of hours with you all. Thank you so much. And yeah, not on tomorrow, more than likely. Might be, but unlikely at this stage. But I will be on Tuesday. So I will see you all then. I love you all. Take care. Good night. Bye-bye now.